Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba warns that trade negotiations with the U.S. won't be easy after discussions between Washington and Tokyo yielded no real breakthrough. President Trump, though, says officials made big progress in talks. And Japan's lead negotiator, Ryose Agasawa, told U.S. representatives that tariffs were extremely regrettable. Mr. Agasawa says he believes Washington is looking to secure a deal within the 90-day window and that Mr. Trump's unexpected presence during discussions shows willingness to cede ground. Similar to other major trading partners, Japan wants a review of U.S. tariffs, including the 25% on auto imports already in effect. A separate 24% duty on Japanese goods has been paused for now. For more, Nina Maria Potts joins us live from Washington, D.C. Nina, Mr. Trump lauding what he called big progress in talks with Japan. How are you reading into this?
Well, we're getting two very different narratives. U.S. President Donald Trump's confidence doesn't quite match the fact that Japan doesn't yet have a deal. Clinching a deal with Japan on tariffs would be a win for the Trump administration, which has stressed repeatedly that the first in line to cut a deal with the U.S. would be at a significant advantage. The fact that President Trump met personally with Japan's chief negotiator, it's being seen as a sign of how keen the president is to reach a deal with individual countries, not least because China's commitment to globalization, its global positioning since President Trump announced his tariffs, sparking market chaos 2 weeks ago, makes it even more imperative for President Trump to come out winning. Plans for a second meeting this month between the US and Japan are in motion, with both sides looking for a swift agreement. Worth remembering the context, though, that a deal isn't the mark of some massive success story in the history of trade relations between the US and Japan. A deal would mean a narrow escape. It would mean a narrow escape from a devastating situation. Japan is America's biggest foreign investor, closest ally in Asia. There's a lot at stake in these negotiations, certainly if they go badly. And Japan has described President Trump's tariffs as a national crisis. So a deal would amount at best, I think, to a narrow escape. Separately, President Trump slamming Jerome Powell, chair of the Federal Reserve, for refusing or opting not to do anything about interest rates, saying that his termination can't come fast enough, an indication perhaps of President Trump's general state of mind and frustration at the Federal Reserve.
We know, Nina, that more countries, meanwhile, are lining up for negotiations with the U.S. president. What can we expect from those meetings?
Well, Malaysian ministers are reportedly heading to the US at the end of April for tariff talks. The Trump administration eyeing President Xi Jinping's visit to Malaysia as a choose-your-side moment, without any certainty right now at all that countries being forced to choose sides would choose the United States. The Trump administration signaling a great deal of confidence that America is the more reliable partner, that China's own conditions and terms need to open up for China to be considered a trustworthy trading partner. But given the level of chaos stemming from President Trump's economic policies, there are concerns over whether America can be trusted. There's been an erosion of trust, that basic economic principles are being overturned. Other countries lining up. Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is meeting President Trump in Washington today. All European eyes on that meeting, hoping that she can advance the EU's economic interests in Washington. She's perceived to have a closer political alignment with the Trump administration. But which countries make up the 70 that President Trump keeps talking about as wanting deals? We're all looking out now for the pecking order.
All right, Nina, thanks for that. Nina Maria Potts reporting live from Washington, D.C.